So there's been a lot of talk about The Rock's transformation in this movie. Not much talk about anything else in the movie, which kind of concerned me, not gonna lie. When there's more to a movie than that, you know? Anyhow, let's talk about it. So The Smashing Machine's written and directed by Benny Safdie, directed Uncut Gems. It's the story of the life of wrestler Mark Kerr. The movie takes place between 1997 and 2000. UFC was on the rise. They got a point in this movie, he was like, there've been like 13 of these things. So in the world of mixed martial arts, this guy is the wrestler. But the majority of the matches we see, when we see him, take place in Japan in an event called Pride. But that's not... Here's what the movie's actually about. Mark Kerr is undefeated until he gets defeated. He takes the loss pretty hard. He apparently amps up his opioid addiction. Something we never see the spiral of, but you know, the movie tells us it happens, so cool. Then he gets clean, needs to re-enter the sport, hopefully get his comeback going. In the meantime, we watch this guy and his girlfriend argue, bicker, fight, and hate each other, but also love each other, but also hate each other. They're that kind of couple. At one point, she throws this thing on the ground, shatters, she's like, fuck you, leaves. I was like, well, that was the breakup, obviously. We don't see her for a while, and then she's just kind of at the gym while he's training, and I was like, oh, I guess that wasn't the breakup. Sorry, MMA, UFC fans, I imagine you wanted to see this movie revolving around the sport, but also having human drama in it. I don't know much about Mark Kerr. I watch UFC, but I don't go that far back. Though those early UFC fights are really fun to watch. The Rock's transformation in this movie, I feel like most of it is on the prosthetics department. Good job, prosthetics department. For a lot of the first half of the movie, I was like, I'm glad I can see Dwayne Johnson doing things outside his wheelhouse, outside his comfort zone. Like wrestling and doing interviews, you know. Right, he's The Rock. But after the first act, when the drama starts ramping up, he does have a couple of solid moments in here. Yes, transformation, metamorphosis, which would make him a metamorphic Rock. But I heard Mark Kerr is this nice guy, and I was like, okay, he's playing a nice guy. And then when he argues with Emily Blunt, I was like, well, it comes across as passive-aggressive. Aggressive in the ring, passive-aggressive outside the ring. Is that supposed to be my takeaway here? That's right, in this biopic about this MMA fighter, the biggest fights in the movie are domestic issues. In a movie review for a movie with that movie poster, am I supposed to talk more about their relationship than the matches? Fact is, I didn't like either of them. I found them both to be dicks. I didn't like how either of them handled the heavy discussions in their relationship, the fights. Maybe the movie could have shown us more, you know, shown us how it's boiled to this point, you know, why this person's so frustrated and angry. Because things aren't just brought up in discussion, you know, that would imply good communication between these two. At best, what I can say about them is that they're like the chemicals in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Alone, no problem. Mix them together, volatile explosion. And I realize a big problem in this movie is I don't know much about these two. Dude likes to wrestle and he has his prop girlfriend who feels like a prop girlfriend, but I also feel like she's a prop girlfriend. But I don't feel like she's Mark Kerr's prop girlfriend. I feel like she's the Smashing Machine, the movie's prop girlfriend. Just feels like the movie doesn't know what kind of biopic it wants to be. I get it. It's about a person's life. A life is a huge thing. Where do you draw the line? Where do you start it? Where do you end it? Something with better pacing that doesn't feel this slow would be a great start. I feel like I'm bagging on it more than I meant to. The acting's really good in it. The Rock was solid, Emily Blunt's great, but it feels like this whole thing was created, fabricated to have The Rock flex his acting skills a bit more among a new audience. The A24 audience, he hasn't taken that over yet. Great, here we are, fresh new demographic for him. I couldn't help but walk away from this movie feeling like for the sport element of it, I feel like the movie it should have been a biopic about his friend. Mark Coleman's his name. Yeah, it should have been about him. Was it supposed to be about him? Was this a Mark Coleman biopic? The Rock was cast as a support character and he was like, look, I do not fight Shazam or anyone less than Superman as Black Adam, and I do not play second fiddle in a wrestling movie. I don't know, you could see it happening. That's the kind of guy who would try to take over the DC universe. The movie just disappointed me, but it makes sense that it did. Any movie in which the headline from the film festival is it got a 15-minute standing ovation never lives up to that 15-minute standing ovation. That's when my concerns initially started for this one, not gonna lie. But yeah, the acting's solid, and that's something you need for a relationship drama between this boyfriend and girlfriend that shouldn't have dated. I do like and appreciate the fact that The Rock's trying to embrace Dwayne Johnson, thespian. But the question remains, is the movie built around that concept any good? Turns out it's just a movie I'm not gonna remember in T-1 day. Yep. Already forgot. All right, so The Smashing Machine. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite UFC or fighting movie? It doesn't have to be UFC. Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Also, when's that Paddy Topuria fight gonna happen? Gauntlet was thrown, Gauntlet was picked up. I'm just waiting.